Hey, hey. So before I'm doing a love reading right now, and as I was channeling this energy, I got this song stuck in my head. It's called The Sound of Silence. I don't know if you guys know what it is. I went ahead and pulled it up because I want you to listen to some of the words before I get started. I feel like for some of you, there's someone in your life that you are being silent. You're not saying anything. I think that you've said enough. I'm also getting that song, Say Something, I'm Giving Up on You. So you could have said all there was that you needed to say, and this person has said nothing. So you've decided to just keep your mouth shut. And I want to go ahead and play this song for you for a moment, and let's see what you get out of this. Hopefully you can hear this. If you want to look that song up, definitely do and listen to the words. But I feel like for a lot of you, when it comes to love, you went through a very dark period in your love life. And I feel like the one that you wanted to be there for you allowed you to go through the darkness alone. And because of that, you went into solitude. You've pulled your energy back and have felt that if I have to do this alone, then I'm going to be alone. And I feel that you've cried a lot of tears, and I feel like you have been in such a dark space when it comes to relationships that it's been very hard for you to even want to open yourself up to relationships again. So, whoever this message is for, The Sound of Silence is definitely a song you might want to look up, because I feel like, I don't want you to get into a depressed phase or any of that kind of stuff, but I feel like that's where you've been, and I feel like that's what you're being pulled out of. That's what you're coming out of right now. I get songs during readings, but I don't think I've ever gotten one, in one of my YouTube videos before. So yeah, we got children. Your love life is being affected by children. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. This true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. You deserve love. You are lovable. I feel like this comes from your childhood even. You watched, maybe for whoever it is that I'm tuned into, you didn't see the healthiest of relationship patterns as you were growing up. But Spirit is saying, like, it's okay to explore love. It's okay to put yourself out there, because I do feel like, yeah, you've been through your fair share of deception and lies and hurt and pain, and even through your childhood. And I feel like that is something that you are healing at this very moment. Yeah, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. I think that you're very cautious when it comes to your love life. And it talks about releasing the past, releasing things that have happened. But I feel like for a lot of you, are still holding on to that. And I feel like that's your red flag, is whatever happened to you in childhood was just that. But it's blocking you from actually opening yourself up to a fully committed relationship. So you choose to keep yourself in separation. I feel like you are an active participant in keeping yourself out of relationships. I feel like, you could meet the one and you would end up pushing them away because you're in that mindset of it, oh, it's too good to be true. And so you're keeping yourself stuck. You're keeping yourself yearning for something that could be, and spirit's like, but I want to give you this. I want to give you that stable, committed relationship. I think that it's very, apropos that they gave me that song this morning as I was channeling in this energy. And, you've met darkness and you know what that's like. And it's time for you to meet happiness. It's time for you to meet joy and fulfillment. And that's what Spirit is saying. Allow yourself to get to know other people. Not everybody is sent here to hurt you. And I feel like the one that you have been waiting for all along, and I don't think that you've been waiting by any means. I think that the one that was supposed to be here all along is right around the corner, but you tend to, block yourself from truly allowing yourself to have that sense of fulfillment. And I feel like this is a very powerful reading. Honestly, I think, it's really sad that, our childhood is what, prepares us for these readings, and Spirit's trying to tell you, like, we are trying to help you with a sacred union. Honor and treasure a relationship, for it is truly sacred. Relationships are not meant to be this, this mental, mind fuck. They're here to help us, understand bits and pieces of ourselves and find where our patterns are and what has been holding us back all along. And so maybe for some of you, you came into relationships with that trauma bond because of whatever had happened to you in childhood. And I do feel like others of you, because of that, you use your children as a block. For those of you who have kids, you allow your children to block you. You say, oh, I can't, I got to raise my kids and I have to give my whole heart to my children. But children are not the center of your universe. And I hate to burst your bubble. You're the center of your universe, and you need to heal your inner child and stop using your children to block you from truly finding love and commitment. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. And I feel that you have been through some tumultuous events in your life, but that's not to say that that's going to color the rest of your life unless you allow it. So I would suggest, sitting down, getting a reading, or talking to someone, finding a mentor. And it says, look inside yourself and examine what is causing you to feel this way. I can't make that up. So I feel like it's time for you to do some self-evaluation and go within and ask yourself, why am I not allowing myself to truly be happy? And I think a lot of you, it has to do with not letting go of the past, not letting go of the people who hurt you. And I feel like it's a story that you continue to tell yourself. And Spirit's like, I feel like, you saw red flags in relationships. You saw the red flags and you chose to ignore them. And now you utilize that to, oh, well, that's why I can never be in a relationship because everyone is the same. No, not everyone is the same. Unless you haven't learned the lesson, then yes, you will continue to manifest on that frequency because that's the energy that you are putting out. At the bottom of the deck, it says, when you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those that you love. If you were to die 5 minutes from now, would you be happy with the life that you accomplished? Would you feel fulfilled? And if you had 5 more minutes to change just anything, what would it be? I feel like the answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind. And I feel like as you allow yourself to open up and meet new people, meet new friends even, it's going to put you into circles of people who are highly evolved and where you're supposed to be. Like healers, we're not sent here to heal you. We're sent here to mirror back to you what your life could be like if you were willing to make those tweaks. And I feel like it's the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you think about yourself. Oh, I'm not good enough. That's, somebody else can have that, but that can't be me. And that's just an untrue statement. But if that's your belief system and that's where you tie yourself up, then you're absolutely correct. And then while everybody else, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, you keep yourself in separation, okay? I'm definitely seeing you keeping yourself in separation and yearning for marriage, yearning for commitment, but being too afraid to put yourself out there because of what? Because a couple of people deceived you, because you actually had to live life. We've all been deceived. We've all been lied to. Many of us have been cheated on. I've been cheated on in every single relationship that I've ever had. But do you think that that's going to stop me from clearing my energy and raising my vibration and being completely honest with myself? And the moment that I see that somebody is going to bring in a third party or allow somebody else to dictate my relationships, I walk away. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get hurt. I'm just like, okay, you're not my person. So does that mean that everybody in my life is going to cheat on me? Absolutely not. But that's the kind of vibration that I was in because I was always fearing being cheated on. So what did I do? I manifested people who cheated on me. I manifested people who brought in third-party relationships because they weren't ready for a commitment. Does that say anything about myself? Absolutely not. But what it does say about me is that I deserve better and I know better. And therefore, I'm aligning myself with better because I've raised my vibration and I've set my standards very high. And if you don't meet that standard, then you don't belong in my life. And that's the way it needs to be. Does that mean I'm going to be a nun for the rest of my life because of my past experiences? No, absolutely not. That's not. There's somebody for everybody, and some people just don't want anybody, and that's your prerogative too. But I feel like you've met darkness and you've met it head on, and now it's time for you to vibrate higher and pay attention to the music that you're listening to. And I feel like maybe that's a song that some of you have listened to, and you're like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend," okay, you've met darkness. Hello, it was nice to see you again. And now it's time for me to meet the light, okay? So definitely put yourself in much more lighthearted situations. Put yourself out there because I do feel like for a lot of you, there is somebody here that would love to get to know you the moment that you take that block off, the moment that you take off your shield. You don't have to be a warrior anymore. Soften up a little bit. Get out there. Be lighthearted. Play. Flirt with life again and what could be, because there's so many possibilities, but yet you keep yourself blocked off. And like I said, I do feel like for some of you, you are using your children. See that little girl right there? And if you've raised your children correctly, then your children would be happy for you that you were to fall in love. But instead, you allow your children to dictate your life. Oh, well, my kids would be so unhappy if I got into a relationship. Then you didn't raise your children right. Because if you would have raised your children correctly, your children would want to see you happy instead of seeing you miserable. I remember one time my girls came to me and they were crying because I hadn't dated in like 8 years. And they were like, "Mom," and they were bawling. They were like, "We want you to find love. We want you to be happy. We want you to open yourself up." And I never realized how important that was. And I was one of those people who utilized my children and said, I need to have quality over quantity or I will have nothing. And so I wasn't even willing to put myself out there to go on dates because I'd been hurt so much. So I decided that my focus was only going to be on my children. And you know what? Unfortunately, for the last 21 years, that's what I've done. So now when I meet people, I'm like, now I'm so hypersensitive to people's, what their intentions are and that kind of stuff that it's going to take a real special person to take me on, because I am, I'm all about transparency and I need that in my life. So don't use your children and, I'm not with their father. And that they say, your kids say, you can't be with anybody unless it's my dad. Then you know what? You raised your children wrong. And I think that you need to go back and fix that. I'm going to leave that here, you guys. A lot of subject to interpretation. Just remember, if you're the one keeping yourself in separation, then it's time for you to start thinking about love in a completely different way. Anyway, reach out, get a reading, because again, not everybody is here to hurt you, and not everybody is here to lie to you or deceive you. I love you guys all so much. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in a personal reading, all my information's in the description box down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It costs you nothing to hit that like button and to share it with anyone that you feel might need this message. And it does help me get me into the algorithm, and I genuinely do appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who has donated to my channel. Every little bit helps, especially in this economy, and me trying to keep these videos up and running without having to go out and get an actual job, where I can't be here providing these messages for you. So I do thank you, a couple dollars here and there every once in a while, and it's an exchange of energy, and I really do appreciate it. Anyway, also check me out over on Facebook and Instagram under the Footsteps to Peace and Peace Unhinged Tarot. I love you guys all so much, and we will chat again soon. Take care.